So my name is Lorna, and I'll be your hostess this evening for this class. Who has taken a class with me before? Any of the travel classes? Who have? Which one?
I'm pretty sure it's Galapagos Island.
Yeah, it might have been Galapagos or maybe Turkey or Greece or.
I think I did that one too.
Okay. Cool. Was I okay?
Yeah.
Was it okay? You learned something. So I know this class is going to be full, and I know traffic is bad, so I want to start in a few minutes. So take your time, relax, think of good questions to ask. They don't have to be good. You can ask anything. Trust me. I've been doing this for a little while, and so I really enjoy it. So the biggest thing that I have, a lot of people are here with a lot of fear. Just let go of that. Okay. I'm gonna let you in on the things that I've done. I've traveled extensively, and nothing's happened to me. I'm still here, so I can help with a lot of ideas and stuff. And before we get started, while we're waiting for everybody to get here, I decided on a small activity, kind of. It's kind of like a little, icebreaker, a little warmer. So it's about souvenirs. So I have this philosophy that your souvenirs talk a lot about you, tell you a little bit about yourself. So when you travel, what's your favorite souvenirs? Anybody here has never traveled? Oh, no.
Yeah, sorry,
Just don't get to
me. My souvenir.
Okay. So tell me about your souvenirs. What's your favorite souvenirs? And what makes you remember it the most, or do you still have them? What are some of your favorite souvenirs?
You want to know now?
Whenever you go travel.
Okay. You want to know now, or we should tell you?
Tell me now, yeah. Tell me.
Well,
While we're waiting for everybody, we're just going to say something that they can miss, So.
well, actually, my favorite souvenir is actually very cheap, but I go for beautiful bookmarks.
Bookmark, that's great. I like that. Very nice. Yes.
I used tickets for trains and planes.
Very good. See that you remember, and it's got all the stuff in right. Yes.
So I collect magnets.
Perfect. So they're all over your fridge.
All the great places I've been.
Very awesome. And
Picture frames.
picture frame.
I'm running out of room.
Oh, cool. Anybody else?
Scarves.
Scarves. That's nice. Yeah.
Earrings or something cultural.
Very cool. See, everybody's really smart. They got all these small things, and that's the whole idea. You?
My good friend, she collects business ornaments.
Oh,
For
nice.
something to put on her tree.
Oh, that's a great way. Yes.
She collects rocks from different places.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. I used to do that, and then it's like, unless you label it, you're like, where is this from? My daughter does that. Yes, you? Any? Souvenirs?
Souvenirs? Oh gosh. I don't know. What, shot glasses?
I used to do that too, and I have a whole bunch of broken ones. So. Anybody else over this side? No?
I also collect like change, little change that I won't use.
So, I'm going to date myself. Have you guys read a little bit about my bio so you guys know I'm kind of middle-aged? Right?
Oh, I would never have guessed that.
I am. So, I used to collect, how can I say this? It's not important. I was at an 80s concert the other day, and someone was saying, wow, that really tells your age. That was my era. With this group called, what was it called? The Molly Ringwalds? And we were like, oh, that was so fun. It was in San Antonio.
Oh,
That was Saturday night, and I had a blast. I collect a lot of different things, but the most important thing I collect are the pictures. They're just good memory. And what I did over there is I brought some of my favorite souvenirs. So if you guys want to look around and look at them, then you can understand a little bit about me by my souvenirs. So a couple of souvenirs are I like Broadway shows. So I have playbills. I like to run. You can't tell by looking at me, but I do. I consider myself one of the slowest runners ever. So people routinely pass me walking when I'm running. But I collect like little race medals and stuff like that. So it's like I finish, I earn it. So that's my souvenir. I'm going to show you a little But the idea is to get something small, something that you can carry. This is LA. I counted it last year. I did 10 trips. It's just too much. Yes. So this year, and I was only in Europe like one of those trips. So I did a couple. I was telling her like I did Bonnaroo and did something like that. And I was in New York like 3-4 times because I like to go see Broadway shows. So this is what I have. Is one of my souvenirs. It's like Hamilton. And these are good souvenirs. So it's like, it brings back a memory, it evokes a memory. You get something practical like a bag. Just, another bag, something like that. Something that you can use. Something that's utilitarian. And then like the metals. Okay, oh, come on in, have a seat. We're gonna give people 2 more minutes, so we'll just talk about this a little bit more. So we find out that the things that we collect will relate to our passions. So yeah, I do have the train tickets. I have like a little bag for each trip. It's just like all this stuff. It's like all outdated, old-fashioned, but it's like it evokes a memory for you. So that's something for you to keep in mind. So if you have ideas, I just want to give you ideas. So this is a little keychain, and this is from my trip to Paris. So I've been to a lot of places. Paris is one of them.
I have an idea I did once, but I think I'm not that organized to do it all the time, is to send postcards home.
That's a great idea. I actually just buy postcards. Like I was at the Blue Mosque and something. Sometimes you can never capture it like somebody did on a postcard. So you just bring those, and I do have some of those I have in my fridge. I do have some magnets. I do tend to go to a library, but that's a great idea. And you have the postmark.
And you can
Stuff
say
you
something
remember.
about it.
Yeah. So this is a great place. Met this cute guy. And this is like a little British bus. There's a little double deckers. So that's kind of cute. So that evokes memories. So you're welcome to browse that at the end so we can talk a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and, anybody have any questions for me to start with? When we talk a little bit about myself a little bit more? Or you guys know enough? Okay. So my name is Lorna. I've been volunteering for most of my life. My daughter told me, she says, why are you working so hard and they're not giving you any money? She always did that. And I've been volunteering since, oh my gosh, I can't even remember. So it's just something that's a part of you. I've always been a very active, outgoing person. And I like to talk to people. I like to share. I like to travel, and I'm very open. I am a military retiree. So I did 20 years. So I'm actually retired. I turned 50 last year. So that's where the middle-age thing comes from. I mean, I know I turned 50 because my daughter turned 30. So it's like, okay. So I used to drag my kids traveling around the world because it's like, I was only assigned overseas once. The rest of the time I did it myself. And I combined my love for running marathons with traveling. So it's a great combination. So I call myself a tourist marathoner. So I go find a nice destination and I run through it. So Berlin was good, Paris, I did all those, as well as in the US. My kids never appreciated it. Can you believe it? I have pictures of them going up the Eiffel Tower steps and they're like, I have people that say, can you adopt me? So, yeah, that 30, she's the one that she's like just a homebody. She's bought a house and she settled down. My middle one, she's the one that she's run a couple marathons and she does travel now and stuff. So I have one that kind of, the others are like, I'm not going anywhere. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and start. What else about me? I currently work intermittently. Right now I'm working for the state for a few months, save some money, then go blow it on travel. So that's how I operate. So I wish I was rich, but I'm not. I'm rich in many, many ways, but not financially really. And so I volunteer, along with volunteering for Hospitality International, I also volunteer with the Sierra Club. I lead hikes, and we do yoga. We do a lot of different things. I have fun. So if you ever want to do any of those things slowly, come with my group. Like we did big band the other day. We did it over Thanksgiving. So I led a group and we did several hikes. And it's like, who wants to go with me? This is my pace. Everybody can keep up. It's so much fun. And then when I teach these classes, I usually choose classes that, different places that I've been. And recently, the last international travel I did was Budapest, Prague, Germany, and some Italy. So I'm going to share a little bit more of that with you. So, it's enough time for all the later people, so we're going to go ahead and get started with the presentation. So this I got to let you know, first off, that there isn't a regular presentation that I normally do. Well, Chelsea sent me new slides today. So I said, you know what, I really like them, so I'm going to use them. So it doesn't have the personalized stuff that I usually have on my slides, but at the end, if anybody wants to see that stuff, I'll put it up. Okay, is that cool?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you guys really want the old one, I can bring it out. But I like this. Okay, let's see it. I did put my background. That's one of the pictures I took, and that was in one of my favorite places at Santorini. That's Ia in Greece. I was last there. I haven't been there since 2012, so it's right. My time. Yeah. This is the only problem I have is that we can't see what's going on. Get started.
If you do slideshow, it's the one I think from all the way to the left.
Yeah, this one here.
That one.
And the yellow button next to the slider at the bottom. Can't really see it. Someone can walk in.
Yeah, that's
This one.
to the left.
Yeah.
First one, yeah, that one.
It's not gonna cooperate today, of course. I know, it's just like stopped. We can put it, yeah, I'm gonna just start.
It says slideshow up there. It's a
I
photo.
did, I clicked it and it didn't do anything, it just, it's slideshow.
This is not
Can
appears
you-
to be actually.
Yeah.
Can you just click
It's
on
just
each
like,
one at a time?
alright, you might get your wish and get the old presentations. Let's try this.
I think I've ever seen that. Something else, it's
Anybody good with maths? We can try to hook this up to that. Alright.
It's one of these on the bottom of the presentation.
Oh, it's doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's working.
Oh, yay. Okay. All right, so, sorry guys. All right, please bear with me. Don't give me a bad review. All right, so we're going to start with, what do you hope to experience? If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
India.
India. Anywhere?
Ireland.
Ireland.
Egypt.
Egypt. Anybody else? France. France. Love France. And what would you hope to learn? Oh gosh, I'm sorry, I don't even read it. So what is stopping you?
Money.
Time
Money.
Yeah. Time of
Work.
work and money.
Work.
Work, yeah. Lack of vacation days. That thing. Let's see. Okay. So, like I said, this is a new slide, so for people that came in later, it's not personalized. The only personal thing on here is this is my own picture that I took. So my solo travels, I've been traveling for a long time. I'll give you a link. I have like a little website thing that you guys can see later if you want to see more about what I do, what I've done in the past. It started with my parents. My dad used to put us in the car and take us places, and I think that's just how it's evolved for me. And my travel bio is that I will travel. It's like a driving need, and I'm travel obsessed. My mother calls me all the time, and she goes, "Where in the world are you?"
Yeah.
So that's a normal starting of a conversation between you and your parents. You know you have a problem. So seriously, I had a real problem. My kids are like, "You're grounded. You were gone." Because I think last year was a little excessive. I think I was seeing someone I did maybe 10 different trips, and only one international trip, and they were not expensive trips. I just like to go places. I go to New York and I'll buy a Southwest ticket and I'll stay in a hostel, or so it's, I'm a really, really budget conscious traveler. Hosteling International inspires a genuine understanding of people, places, and cultures for a more tolerant world. So what I've learned through traveling is that you don't have to be rich. You just you have to have some money, but you don't have to have as much as you think. And that you get an understanding of people, places, and cultures, and definitely for a more tolerant world. And I have run across every kind of culture, and the biggest thing that I've found out is that everybody's just like you. And that's one of the biggest things. People have a big misconception that these strange people, they're exactly like you. I mean, they have the same interests, and they just want to talk to you and get to know you for the most part. You travel solo for self-discovery, you gain a lot of confidence, and it is a life-altering experience. Traveling solo, like, we do it for different reasons. I'm divorced, and my kids don't like to travel. So I travel solo, that's my reason. But when you travel solo, doesn't mean that you're alone. And that's one of the things I want to let people know, that traveling solo is a great way to meet people. That's what I do, especially I choose to stay in like hostels or just other communal kind of things, because you get to meet other people and you get to, and I'll explain a little bit more later how that's done and what you can do. Yeah, you do get more confidence. The world is, you'll be surprised. So, because I started out saying, I think some people weren't here, is that a lot of people come into this class with a lot of fear, and it is not necessary. And I'll show you how to overcome some of those fears. You get an awareness and understanding of other cultures, which lead to great tolerance around the world. And it says, be a traveler, not a tourist. I'm a big tourist, and I'm a big traveler, because I'm all there taking pictures and getting into the thing. I'm very into culture. I very love the culture of different places, and I like to eat their food and see all their sites, but I also like to talk to people. It's good to immerse yourself in your new environment and challenge yourself to engage with the new culture on a deeper level. And a part of why I like HI is that kind of forces you to do it when you live in a communal environment.
What's each one?
Hosteling International. So there is another slide which I can show that explains a little bit about it. They who has ever stayed at a hostel?
Who has?
Who liked it? Okay. Who didn't like it? Tell me. Okay. Because I think there's some movies and stuff that might give you the wrong. That's not good. That's not really.
I haven't seen those.
Watch it.
To be honest, if I was really rich, I would choose a hostel over a hotel. hotel. A hotel, you just go in and you're closed off. In a hostel, it's like dorm living, kind of. But you can also get private rooms. But you are also share. You have a kitchen. Like I went to DC. It was one of my trips last year. One of my many trips that got me in trouble. It was. Last year was a little special, like I said, because I turned 50 and I was doing a few different things and I was running these marathons. And so I went to DC. The DC has a great HI, Hostelling International. They have them all over the world. They're great. They're really reasonable. And the kitchen's amazing. I was like taking pictures. I went to Chicago. I ran a marathon there, and that HI was amazing. It's beautiful. So. And right there, you get, right nearby, you get to get all the Chicago. It was right on the in the main place. That's the major thing about it. I walked from my hostel in DC down to the White House. So it's like they're usually really well located and stuff. So learn a little bit more about it. I'll give you some links towards the end, and then you can check them out. So they usually have a communal aspect of it, like Chelsea down at the one in Austin. They have one open on like Monday nights. They'll have a travel thing and they should cook food and for different cultures that they're talking about. So it's really good. So solo travel benefits is flexibility. So if you've traveled with other people, you know what it's like to want to go somewhere and they want to go somewhere else and whatever. So it's nice to be flexible. You can set your own agenda, your own schedule. And the social opportunities, like I said, there are a lot of hotels probably do it too. They have the concierge and tell you different things. But like a lot of the hostels, I was one in Madrid or Barcelona, and they'll have a whole list of, this is where we're going, this is what's going on, we get a discount here. I went to one in Vegas, and they had like a pool party night, and they have bar, whatever you're interested in, they usually have something for a group to do. So you can just jump in, pay a little fee or whatever and go. That's what I'm talking about, budget control. And then you improve your travel skills. I'm going to try to watch the time, so I do tend to go over, but make sure you get everything that you need. So the big thing, that a lot of people are safety conscious and some apprehension. And the biggest thing that I have to say about safety is if you wouldn't do it at home, don't do it somewhere else. You understand? Mm-hmm. If you're going to walk, would you go walking down the street in the dark by yourself and, and that's a lot of it is just common sense. Interesting things can happen if you assume that, otherwise. I think like I had I'm not going to say it was a bad experience, but I've had interesting experiences in like Turkey. Okay, so for most of you, I guess here you're fine. But if you go somewhere that they don't see a lot of tourists, you become kind of like how do you say, like you're in a zoo. You're like
curiosity.
You're a curiosity, and I never mind it because I understand, and especially kids.
Yeah.
And it is so interesting. But one of my experiences in Turkey was these guys or something. They just think I was exotic or something. Whatever. And so they're just like following me, just following me. So it's like you just in that circumstance like that, just make your way as quickly as you can to your hotel or your hostel and get. But they were like, and then I found out, well, they're offering me money. They want to do something. They think I'm a prostitute. I don't know what they are. But anyway, but another thing that I like I said, you'll see people take a lot of pictures of you, especially if you're blonde. If you look any different than they do, they are naturally curious. And so what I do is I turn the camera on them too. And I do that works really well, especially with the kids. So like I'm on one of the ferries going in Italy, going over to Greece or something, and I mean, they just try to sneak pictures, and then I have all these people like, can I take a picture with you? And I'm thinking, they're gonna go home and say, look, we saw this American thing, that kind of thing. I'm like, wow, this is a good way to make money, because it seems like they So, yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm gonna say about safety. The biggest thing I'm gonna say about concerned, you can go to state.gov website. I'll have some links later, and also see where there are warnings. I went to Honduras. That's on the big list of don't go. There are ways you can go. So I'm not going to put you in danger, but how I did it was I met a Honduran. If you know somebody that's local or from the area, that makes a big difference if you're able to arrange things beforehand. You know, in that case, I recommend that. So that's not necessarily like solo travel. It's more, you can still experience the culture. Okay, you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it does tend to, because I was like, I was going with one of my friends from my MBA class, and she was like, yeah, we're from there, we're going to arrange everything. But when you look at all the web thing, it's like it's the highest murder rate, and the airport deadliest, and all this stuff. And it's like, and that'll make you just not go anywhere, and you really can't go safely and experience it. Affordability, I already touched a little bit on that. It's not, traveling is not just for the rich. If you want to do it, you can find a way. I've listened to a few of the other people that do the presentations, and they talk about, you know, saving your money, and but for me, it's like finding the good airfares. It takes time to plan, and so you can be spontaneous, but it costs you more. So if you can plan ahead, you will be able to save a lot of money. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Anything that I touch, guys, we can come back to later. Just ask me, okay? Missing life events. So when you plan to travel, like, let's say I want to go to Europe. I'm like, one time I was in Europe for like 3-4 months. So yeah, you'll miss major events, but I'm gonna tell you. We'll talk about budget. I was on that island in Santorini, and I paid $7 a night.
Wow.
Yes, I'm telling you, there's all these you can pay $200, $300, $400, or you can pay $7, $8, or $9 at a hostel. And I met some great people, and I still am in touch with them. You know, so it's kind of like, and then you miss your family and friends. Oh, you're not gonna miss them that much. You're having fun, right? This is on the slides. I have to say that. Okay. So, to ensure travel success, plan and prepare. You can never overplan, okay? And expect the unexpected and go with the flow. And I really like that. Go with the flow. Don't put yourself in a box. Don't have these set expectations. You know, allow yourself to be flexible. It might be, some people are a different personality type and you want things to go this way, this way, this way. You're in for a rude awakening. Depending on the country. I've been to like Africa. You go to the different countries that have no concept of time. Then you're like, okay, yeah, it's gonna be like 2 hours late, and you're like, okay. So expect the unexpected. I was in Greece when the protests and all this stuff started, and I was in Italy. I was in Pisa, visiting the Leaning Tower or whatever, and they had a strike. I was in Paris, and you have to change. You have to make changes because, okay, the train stopped running. We couldn't go anywhere, so I ended up renting a car. You know, so it's like prepare mentally that could happen. And I think if you prepare yourself mentally, that'll make life so much easier. It could go like clockwork. There are countries like Germany's very, you know, I'm not gonna say one of my best friends. She's German. She lives in Munich. I was there seeing her. She's coming here for South by. But they're everything is on time, like to a fault. And it's very organized. That's why I like their marathon. It's just super streamlined. But there are other places that makes you like, wow. Okay, so go with the flow. Other cultures, they have an idea of an American. They have an idea of you, like just like you have an idea of them. So I lived in Italy for 2 years. For those that missed it when I came, when I was a military person, I was there for 2 years, and I found out a lot of different stereotypes that they had of Americans in general. And as a Black American, especially, they just well, the place that I was considered as very exotic, and most of the prostitutes were black women, so it was really hard for me. But you got used to it. They have, and you have, I mean, they don't know better. It's like nowadays, I know with computers, and I think the world is smaller, that it's better than it might have been a few years ago. But you blow those stereotypes out of the water. It's like you're just a regular person. Not everybody's going to be fast and loose and, doing whatever. I don't hang up, I don't hook up with anybody like that or anything like that. Do not impose your beliefs. So I have a lot of friends that are Muslim, a lot of friends that are Christian, a lot of friends. And it's like, don't judge, don't ever impose, always be respectful. So it's like you go in Italy, you go into the museum, the chapel, the churches, you have to be covered. Same thing with the mosques and stuff like that. So those are things that just be culturally sensitive. It might not be something that you believe in, but respecting the other cultures, it goes a long, long, long way. Anybody have any experience with cultural conflicts or clashes? Or anybody have any questions about that? What might be expected? But it's yes.
Kind of, nothing religious, but when I was in Spain dealing with siesta was very hard. That was something very hard for me to accept and understand that every place pretty much shut down during it.
Yes. In Italy where I was, it was called riposo. So it was like, yeah, in the middle of the day you shut down and you go to sleep or something. It was like very inconvenient for the Americans. And it's like, but then what happens is they'll open back up, like, let's say riposo was from like 1 to 4 or 1 to 3 or something like that. And then everything is shut down, but then they open up at 4 and then they go forever. So it's like a whole different cultural experience. And in Spanish, that's siesta, and that's something that it's just so normal there, and you're like, okay, what's going on? You're inconveniencing me.
Yeah, a lot of them took it very seriously because
Yes.
then that was their only chance to spend with their families.
Exactly.
Every day.
They have a meal
To
together.
inconvenience by it, they were offended
Yes.
that I was inconvenienced.
I know. I remember I was somewhere, I don't know what country I was in, but I was getting my hair done or something. Sometimes I would do braids or something. And then they stopped and got their prayer mats out. And when it didn't stop, so it's something like that. So just, I'm just trying to think, what would it be like? It would be like you getting your Starbucks or something. You're just, they might not, that's something that's just something that's normal for them. And you're like, I don't get it. New experience, remember that customs are different, they're not inferior. So, and one thing Americans do tend to do is go around with a superiority complex and just think that because other people do this, that they're inferior. It couldn't be further from the truth. I've been to South Africa, I've been to Africa, I've been to a lot of different places, and it's like, they're exactly this. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it. But it's like, it's very rich cultures, but everybody's exactly the same. You're not better than anybody else. You're just different. Okay? Don't be wasteful. Oh my gosh. So this is another big cultural thing I'm going to give you. If you have never been to an island in Europe, like in Greece or Italy or anywhere, most of the pipes, anybody know where I'm going with this? Who's been there? Okay, so this is going to be new. You cannot flush toilet paper. So, yes, it is that disgusting. Yes. So, they have like little, apart from the different types of toilets you might run into, the squatting ones, and I have pictures, I stopped showing them because it's like, go experience that for yourself. If you go on the ferries, even some of the ferries, they won't let you, so everything has to be, it's quite gross, but you get used to it. That's just how everybody does things. So you cannot flush toilet paper. So leave the rest of it to your imagination. So don't be wasteful. So you're not wasting their water. A lot of the places you have to drink bottled water. So that's another safety issue. Don't think that you have a strong constitution. You do what you're told, or else you're going to get really sick. Be patient, polite, and friendly. So a smile goes a long way. You know, if you don't understand their language, you're smiling and you're listening, you're looking. That goes a long way. You know. Okay. So before you travel, the consideration is you make your trip a priority. Reassure this is not a mistake. Yes, you're doing this. And then practice. I mean, when it says practice on here, like I said, I just got these slides today. Some of the stuff is the same, but from the other ones it's different. When it says practice, I'm trying to think of what that means. It's like before you go overseas somewhere, if you want to go to another city, another state, and just try it out, you know, just travel. That's what I'm thinking that might be. Because there are some people that are homebodies that never go anywhere. Any homebodies in here? Nah, I wasn't traveling. Can't relate. All right, health and physical. Personally, I have traveled when I was not healthy. I think it was in 2012. I had surgery, and I wanted to go. I had tickets for the Olympics. I had all this stuff, and I remember that I was in where was I? I don't remember, Greece or somewhere. But this is kind of cool. You realize that when you go overseas, especially like Italy or some places, if you need medication, you don't have to. You just go to the pharmacy, and you don't have to worry about getting a prescription, which is so cool. And so I remember doing that and getting everything that I needed and we take care of. I've been in the hospital overseas, and they're not inferior. Yes.
Do you recommend getting a traveler's health insurance?
Yes.
Yes.
I do.
And do you have specific recommendations for
I'm not
companies
allowed to,
or-
but
Can
I
we
will
talk
talk to you
later?
offline.
Okay.
Thank you. But to be honest, a lot of the things you can just pay as you go. You know, it was not too bad. So be as healthy as you can before you travel. That's what I'm gonna say. Make sure you have all your vaccinations. I have my little thing, and I've had my tetanus. I think I have my something. But make sure you have everything that you need. When you go to different countries, I tend to be more spontaneous, so I do want to make sure that I'm able to go wherever. So if I'm here and I want to go here, that I'm covered. So you get your yellow fever, get everything else that you need, just in case. And then, like if you're going to a place that has issues, like when I was going to Africa, South Africa, you take your the medication. They give you medication before you take it so you don't get sick. So physically, it's good. I'm not in the best shape of my life, I have to admit. But the more you can walk and be able to go around, it makes life easier. And like I said, middle age though, and the creep of the weight, that's life. But the better you can enjoy yourself. But if you're not in the tip-top shape, you can still have fun. Language barriers. Everybody wants to speak English all around the world. Serious. It's nice I can say polite words in a lot of languages, but language is not a barrier for most Americans. So if you really want to practice, and you have a hard time getting a chance to practice. So let me just tell you that from now. I have not been to a major country that there's a problem. There isn't. When we talked about one of the things that I used to collect, or like souvenirs, I didn't go around it, but okay, I'm gonna talk about my age. So I used to love to collect money, like different denominations. And then what happened in Europe?
They switched to the euro.
They switched to the euro. I'm sorry, I hated that. And so I still have some old lira and some marks and some stuff, so it's kind of more precious to me. So I still have a little collection, but I don't remember where I was going with that, but there's not a whole lot of barrier. Okay, so if that makes you feel better, if it does for anybody. But if you really want to practice a language, they'll have meetups, because like here in some places they'll have a language exchange, a cultural exchange. You can go in and talk with the local people. think in Italy I did that. So we meet all the local people and we sit around. Parla italiano un po'? Anybody? Okay. I speak a little Italian, so I know I mix up my Italian and my Spanish very, very much. So. Okay. So pre-trip planning, budget, location, transportation. So this is how I work. I get my paycheck. I pay my bills. How much do I have left over to buy a plane ticket? That's just how. Seriously, I think about money in terms of tickets or whatever. But so the good thing is to save your money as much as you can, so you can go the places you can go. There are lots of good ways to get budget stuff, and the biggest way is with time. You'd be really, really shocked. My friend is getting a ticket from Munich. She usually flies into New York. That's what I usually do. I usually go to a major hub to go overseas. Never leave from Austin. No, they're ridiculous prices. Even if I'm going to Jamaica or anywhere else, I usually will fly somewhere else first. Like I'll fly to Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale is really cheap. And then you can go to the Caribbean or whatever. To go to Europe, always fly to New York or somewhere on the East Coast, and you get the cheapest tickets ever. Seriously. I can give you guys more details about how I do it if you want to. Later, you can see me. You want to go to Asia? I've been to Japan and Korea and all of that, and go from West Coast. So there are different ways. Okay. So that's how I'm able to do it.
So not only like your budget, like you're saying your plane ticket,
Mhm.
but then there's also transportation.
Yes,
food,
exactly.
you
There's different considerations. When like 1 year in Europe I did the global pass. So consider different types of transportation. You can consider, so that's train travel. The global, like it's a URail pass. You can get a global pass. I think I did one for like $2,000 and it was like for 2 months. And it was like first class everywhere. And I used it. I went to Switzerland, Sweden, Norway, went all over. It was really, really good. I enjoyed it. That was a really good decision. So when you go to the close travel is the best travel. It's the best way to meet local people. Try to take the local buses. Try to take the local transportation. Even in the U.S., this is going to be funny, but there's like the megabus. And that is so cool. I did that too. I did that from Washington, D.C. to New York. That was, it's a couple of hours, so it wasn't too bad. I paid like $5. It was really ridiculously cheap. So if you look ahead, you can travel for next to nothing. Seriously. So considering your transportation, I like to plan ahead. I really do. So like if I book like my hostels, I use hostelworld.com or hostelbookers.com. There are a lot of different sites that you can use. And if the further out you go, the cheaper everything is. It's just like plane fares. So, and then just, I was going to Portugal. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to go here this night, and then I'm going to take the train, and then I'm going to go here, and then over there. But be flexible. Always buy the insurance. It's like $1 or $2 more. That way, if you need to change, you can change it. Just transfer your thing to somewhere else so you don't lose your money. Okay. Yes?
I just had a question. Do I need to be typing like that, or are you going to give us the links at the end, or like how should?
Well, it's not on this one. I'm trying to bring up the other one that I have, or I'll just give you my. I have something I'll give to you, so you guys can. So, planning your different stages is great. Just flying is good too, especially like Europe. The budget airlines can be good, and sometimes they can be really, really bad, especially if you don't plan ahead. Like I've done like Ryanair, EasyJet, and all that, and they're really, really, really inexpensive if you buy it really early. Like I've gone from the mainland England to Ireland, been to Dublin a few times, and it's really inexpensive unless they will nickel and dime you on baggage fees and different things like that. And I think one time, I don't know what I didn't check in my luggage, and then I ended up paying €100, and I was really, really upset because that was like a big part of that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I think that was from one of the islands in India. That was, yeah.
When you said by the insurance, you mean when you're booking a hostel?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, when you book the hostel, like I am a member of one of the Hostel World or whatever. You can become a member if you like, and it keeps like a log of all your travels. So it's kind of cool. You can look back and you know, but it'll give you a chance to if you need to cancel and change, and you can see all my little changes and cancellations here and there, and it doesn't charge you to rebook it, so you don't lose your money if you have to make the changes.
It's been many years since I stayed in a hostel.
Mhm.
When you were mentioning hostels, do they still have, are they all like where you all sleep in the same room?
No.
Or do they still have the private rooms?
They still have private rooms, and they're not all teenagers.
Okay.
Yeah, could you
I
talk
still-
about that?
Yes, because I'm a lady of a certain age right now, and I remember I was in Seville, I was in Spain, and this one little teenager's like, "Aren't you too old for this?" I'm like, "No." She's like the only person that's ever done that. There are other like rare people walking around. It's like it's acceptable. There are countries that they have like specific only youth hostels, and they'll let you know. They'll let you know, but there are. It's now everybody. If they have an age restriction, they'll let you know. But like I was in, I'm gonna say Switzerland, Austria, and it was like every age group. Try not to go during like a holiday time or oh my gosh, there's like so many kids, so many youth groups, and but anyway, so it's for everyone. They had a thing called elder hostel, but they don't really need it. Everybody gets together, and it's really fun. So yes.
You know, I wouldn't mind when I was younger, but what about cleanliness?
Yeah, it's not bad. When you go to those hostel sites, they'll have ratings. Look at the ratings.
Right.
I was in Madrid. No, not Madrid. I'm sorry. Milan. I was in Milan, and you can choose your hostels in different ways. Some by price, some by ratings, or whatever. And for some reason, I don't remember what it was, but this one was like, I'm gonna say 10 euro. It was really, really cheap. And I was like, oh, this sounds good. It's like right in the center, right near La Scala, you know, all that. Okay. And I went there, and let me put it this way. I'm still friends with some guys from Oslo, Norway, that we all got bed bugs.
Oh.
We did, and I was the only time in all the years I've ever, and we have that in common. So we got friendships out of that, but yeah, we moved. We didn't stay there very long, but yeah, that was interesting.
Do you bring it back?
I had never experienced it. It finally went away, but there's like it'll have a pattern, and that was the itchiest I've ever been in my life. And
Did you review that? Like, did you put that?
I did. I'm like, do not ever go here. Do not. I did. I mean, the guys were really nice, but it was.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why the price was so low. Let's put it this way.
Right.
If it's suspiciously low, be careful.
So what you're saying is that that's not a common occurrence.
It's not at all. I've been to so many hundreds. I've been so many, and that was the only one time. And so that really stands up to my mind. Like the one I was talking about in Santorini, that was like 6 or 10. It had a pool. It had everything. It was awesome. And I met a friend that I'm friends with, from until now.
And no fleas.
No fleas, nothing. They're really nice. Trust me. Yes.
Well, I just want to back up the
Yes.
hostels, because I'm actually in the process of running a my hostel in a few years. So I know quite a bit about them, done a lot of research, and it's pretty commonplace now, even in Europe and a lot of other countries, that there's laws and regulations put into place that require them to like have mattress covers. They have to go through inspections. They have to go through.
They won't let you bring your own
Lighting
blankets. They won't let you
standards.
bring anything in.
Yeah, I mean, it's also because it's become such a competitive market because we are a small world now and everybody's traveling.
Yeah.
It's become more common for hostels to compete against each other in a very boutique style. So they're all trying to have fancier decorations and decor and design and renovations, better beds. Now you've got the Tempur-Pedic mattresses and you've got more private rooms than ever to choose from.
Yeah.
Like I told you, seriously, guys, if I was really rich, I'd still stay in a hostel because I like that.
Yeah,
So
but
I just got the benefit from it, and I
On
can
the
appreciate that.
pricing, does it depend on what time of year you go? Just 'cause it's
Yeah,
cheaper
for the
or
most part,
expensive?
like in New York, there's one that I like to go to. the HI in New York is nice, but there's one that I like to go to called the Q4 Hotel. They call themselves a hotel, but it's really a hostel. It's really nice, and it's like just across the river from Manhattan. It's in Queens, and it's like $40 a night.
Do the prices fluctuate on the time of the season?
Yeah, but it like
Whatever's going
from
on?
like me, I like to use the dorm, and so it's like maybe 6 ladies, and I don't know. I've gone several times a year, and it's about the same average, $37 a night. You know, just think about it. You know, it's really good.
It seems fair, you can get bed bugs in hotels.
You can. That's
Yeah,
true.
unfortunately.
That's true. So we talked about accommodation. We talked about transportation. Let's go on to so a little bit of Hostel International. It's a community of travelers. They have great programs. I stay in other hostels apart from HI. HI has a wide range, but they're not the only organization. I like them because they're cool, and I have their little card. And if I volunteer enough, I get free. I've never really taken advantage of it, but that'd be fun. Enthusiastic volunteers, like, wow. So I've always had a lot of people that after I've done a presentation, you want to come do volunteer and do something, talk about some country, whatever. You're always welcome. I give you that information to get in touch with our coordinator. They're located in 90 countries.
90.
So that's pretty cool. What they do is like you can become a member. I think it was like $26 or $30 for the year, and it makes you have a cheaper price per night. And I usually use that. It's pretty nice. It's quite significant when it adds up, especially if you travel a lot. 4,000 locations in 90 countries. That's pretty significant. Health and nutrition. How am I doing on time? Okay. We talked a little bit about the health and nutrition earlier. My thing is, when you go to a country, eat their food. Try it. I hated some of the Turkish food. It's so disgusting. But, you know, there's some, you know, just try it and be like, okay, that's it. Yes.
Do you have any advice for anybody traveling with food allergies?
This is what I do. Let me see if I have it. Oh, another souvenir. You can never go wrong with fruits and vegetables. You know, seriously. This is just a container that I got. Where did I get this at World Market? It collapses. So it's like, it's really cool. I really like it. So this has the leftovers of my lunch, but I thought I would show you. Bring your stuff with you. This is the best part about the hostels, to be honest, is the kitchens.
Yeah.
And you can go shopping. I say go to the grocery store, and I think it's the most fun, trying to figure out what everything is and tasting something new. And yeah, I still remember in Sweden getting this stuff, and I was like, wow, you know, it was not what I thought it was, but it was an adventure, you know. And then just bring your stuff with you when you go. Put it in your backpack, and it saves you money too. Instead of always eating out, I might like eat out once every other day. But bring your stuff and save your money, or eat street food. You know, like yeah, I love street food. The best street food, like it's in Africa, somewhere like that. You gotta be a little adventurous. Some people the Americans are known for being very hesitant to try anything. Yeah, live a little, you'll be alright. They also have Pepto-Bismol. So safety conscious about your person. I already discussed this a little bit earlier. If you want to do it here, don't do it there. Don't go walking around with blinders on. Be conscious of your environment. Look around, and if you can, go with somebody. One of the best things the hostel, I don't want to hark on this hostel, I know everybody's not going to do that, but they'll have like a lot of tours. They're free. You're expected to tip, but they're free, so you can go with a group while you travel around. So I recommend those. Your stuff. Always have locks, padlocks. They'll sell them at the hostels, or some of them will loan it to you. And a lot of places they'll have like little lockers or safes that you can just reset, just like in a hotel room. I've never lost anything. I've had people that lost things. I've known people that have lost things. I've been fortunate. I think I was in Barcelona, and one of the hotels that I was in, one girl lost her iPhone. and I don't know how. You have to be personally conscious of your things.
Yeah.
But I just remember that. So that's like, it's an odd thing. It's not a common thing. Another good thing. Do you guys like free stuff? See, I love thrift shops. Everything I was in America is from that. So like a lot of hostels will have like a free area, free food, free clothes.
Oh,
You're
right.
traveling and you want to unload, so it's like you always find cool stuff. Yes.
I was gonna ask, what are you? I'm sure it depends on the length of your trip, but what are you normally taking as far as luggage? Is it a suitcase? Is it
I take a
backpack?
suitcase. I'm one of the worst persons. I am one that always ends up mailing something home. I am one of the worst as far as being efficient in packing because I end up finding something that I don't know, especially this last trip I mailed but I got a lot of free stuff at the Marathon Expos and I was like, oh, I want to keep it, so I mailed it. But yes, I will take it, like sometimes I will travel with a travel backpack. I alternate or a suitcase pull along. And you can pack, and I used to do it all the time really well, lay out a whole day's worth of clothes all together, roll it. You can do it, it can be done, and then just wash every few, and they'll have washers and dryers in most of those hostels or nearby. You did it in Rome, do it wherever. You definitely can do it. There are people that are really efficient and really, I'm not, I'll be honest, I'm not. I usually will overdo it. But when you know you're paying a lot of money for luggage, you will try to keep it within the 20 kilograms or whatever that they want. So it is a little bit of a stretch. I remember that I was in England, and my daughter discovered, was it Primark? There's a store, it's really inexpensive, and it's really cool. So yes.
That makes me wonder about, so are there backpacks that would be too big as carry-on?
They'll have the measurements, and then they'll have a thing where you can put it in.
Okay, so, is there a certain type of maybe backpack that is recommended for if you don't know what you're going to be doing, if you don't know if you're going to
The people downstairs
Yeah.
are very very happy to help you.
They know what they're talking
It has
about.
to be
Yes, and you can try them on. Definitely try them and walk them around. Yes.
Is it better not to check
Yeah.
your luggage?
It's not better not to check.
But if
I'm
you
always
live in a city, backpack normally goes
Because
your
my daughter
whatever
is in
backpack
Spain
is.
right now, and her luggage got lost.
Yeah, it's better if you can. Small
And
enough.
it was really difficult for her to try to get
It's hard
I
to do
have been
without
so
your luggage.
fortunate. I do
and
count
to
it that.
communicate. She's
Yeah.
had troubles in getting her money from school.
Oh,
And she
no.
said the people weren't very nice as far as talking to her.
Oh,
She's in Waco.
No, I got the 22 to 24 inch.
And I was just curious, do you run
But
into
she's there for an extended period of time, so it's hard to bring it up.
So you run into people like because you're American and
Oh,
whatnot. That's what she feels
They
bad.
target you. They can. See, when a lot of people they see Americans and they just see dollar signs.
Yeah.
So and be careful. I think I was in, I don't know where I was, but I came out of the train or something and I took a taxi. And it went around and round and round, and I found out later he went 2 blocks and charged me a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
So you gotta learn, you gotta be smart, guys. They will target Americans as far as they think everybody has a lot of money. All right, let's move on. Because I think we want to stop at 7:30 in case people want to leave, but we're here I think till 8, so we can always bring up questions and stuff that everybody has. All right. Oh, nightlife. Oh, what's that? So we talk about being safe with your person, your stuff, using the locks. Don't ask people to watch stuff for you. Always try to secure your stuff. People have, they like to pick things up. Get out of your comfort zone. So be street smart. And the nightlife, if you're, I'm a morning person, so I don't usually go out too much at night. But there's always lots of stuff going on. I get invited to stuff, and I'm like, okay, yeah, fine, no.
I have heard a tip
Mhm.
before, take it or leave it,
Yeah.
but I have heard a tip that nightlife is somewhat similar
Mhm.
all around the world.
It is.
So, maybe see stuff in the daytime because the nightlife is going to be pretty similar.
And the
But
thing about it,
it can be
especially
super
like
fun,
Europe,
too.
is they start a lot later than
Yeah.
they do here.
Right.
A lot later. It's like, whoa, it's like 10 or 11 or they start anything, and I'm like, no, I'm a morning person. I can't do it. But there's plenty. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff. So during your trip, do research, don't overplan. So be able to be spontaneous at some point, because you might plan to do this, be at this bridge, and then someone says, "Oh, we're going here." You know, keep yourself open for different things. Enjoy your surroundings. This was cool. This in Ia. So we stayed a little bit further on a beach called Parissa. It was beautiful. It was really nice. But I took this little. I got a little moped because it had like 3-4 wheels. I think I had a picture with it on my other thing. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to this place. And I went up there and I was scared to death. So I parked it at the bus stop and I had someone drive it back down. But you can adjust if you get out of your comfort zone a little bit. But it was a little bit more traffic than I wanted because the sunset is famous. And so it ended up being a lot more people than I was expecting. And I was like, okay, Lorna, okay, know your limits, okay? Keep a sense of humor. Things don't always go as planned. Stay connected. Like, I met this one girl her name was Vanessa, and she's from Hong Kong. And she travels more than even me. Wow. But we hung out a lot together, so stay connected as far as in terms of letting somebody know where you are, what you're doing, maybe hang out with one certain person. And they're my Facebook friends now. It's like, oh, yes, take pictures. Take pictures. I know there's some people I could never understand that never take pictures. My daughters. I'm like, come on, you know. I mean, maybe you can remember it all, but I like to go back and look at pictures. When things go wrong, because sometimes they will. Like I said, luggage, whatever. This is what you do. Like your passport, always make extra copies. Always make extra copies, and it's really not difficult for the consulate for you to get a replacement, especially if you already have a copy. And I have a copy somewhere over there. This is how you know how bad I've had to get new pages in my passport. That's when you know you travel too much. That's why I was grounded. Okay. So like the embassy in Rome and different places, just make sure you have something else. I have the belts. It's kind of weird. I don't like to wear them. But I've never personally lost anything. So whatever I've done, it's worked fine. I like backpacks. I like carrying my backpack or a small one in front. So, a little day pack, not your big backpack. To carry your stuff. And I always travel with like my iPad and stuff like that, but I always put it, inside of something and then use it. So just be conscious. Like I said, guard your passport. Finances. I remember one year I was in Rome. I did something. I don't know what I did, but I checked my bank account and it was like a lot lower than I thought. It's like, oh my gosh, how am I going to survive? And then I couldn't get money out. So I'm like, my calculations were off. What happened? And so I called home and got money from somebody. And then I found out later my bank had just shut everything down because I hadn't done my notification.
Oh.
Always do a notification, do a travel notification. They're trying to keep you safe. So your bank has it. They'll say when you're traveling, tell them that you're traveling. Because they'll see all this money going and they're like, somebody's got you and they're trying to get it. So finances, that's something that got me. So be conscious of that. There are different ways to do it. I like using ATMs. Some banks give you a lot of fees. I don't recommend carrying a lot of cash. And most places will take money. Yeah, they take credit cards. I was in some countries. There are a lot of people that are not honest, and like their euro. It looks like a euro, but it's not. It's like a smaller denomination, so you'll get chipped. And so be careful with money. Okay? In challenging situations, keep your head, keep your cool. It'll work out. If you get lost, explore. I have no sense of direction. I don't know, I was born without one. And so I have discovered some really cool places. So you just have to, it'll work. I'm still here.
You'll eventually find
I know.
Yeah.
And especially, because I try to run, or what I take for running. So sometimes I will get a little turnaround, but it's nice having, they made GPSs and stuff like that just for me, so that's really helpful. People are always willing to help, always. So, like I was saying, this is, on here would be like different links and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do, HI USA has a website. There are different guidebooks that I can recommend, internet articles, blogs, videos. I have a blog. Hardly ever updated, but I'm gonna do better. And I have pictures and stuff like that. What I'm gonna do is, was there a sign-in sheet today?
No.
We could make one.
And yeah, actually, I have something in my car for you. I like it. So before everybody leaves, if you want to, I'm gonna run down and get it. It has a lot of information. I just forgot to bring it up, so that you can get access to a lot of the stuff. And if you want to contact me.
We want to go with you.
Oh yeah. If you, let's see. So it's on here. So I'm gonna let me try to see if I can find a way to get you to this.
What was the
Um,
first trip you made?
My very first trip, like Europe or my first. Maybe Alaska.
Your very first one.
Yeah,
that you
maybe
did.
Like as an individual, like environmental,
As a grown-up.
or as a grown-up. I don't know. I think I went to Alaska.
Did you?
I think that was Anchorage. I think that's one of my first real trips. Yes.
Where are you going next?
So I'm not a morning person. I can be alone in the morning.
Yes.
But in the evening, I like to be sociable
Oh, yeah.
and to talk.
Yeah.
So I'm worried about being lonely.
You won't be.
I mean, everyone else, all the couples and families will be in the restaurant, and I'll be by myself
You
at a
would not
table.
be. You'd be so surprised. So I was in Chicago, and in my room came like a couple two girls from Mexico. They're running a marathon. You never know where you're gonna get assigned. So that's what's funny about it. And people always, if you're willing to talk, they're willing to talk. Never hesitate to approach somebody. And just say, when you're having breakfast,
Yeah.
join somebody at the table.
The restaurant, you mean?
In the hostel, there's like breakfast areas.
Yeah.
We usually have free breakfast.
Okay.
And then you can go in and get that. And then you'll meet somebody. I'll talk to you later about it.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions? This is the conclusion, and I am so sorry I left the HI stuff and I think the sign-in sheet and everything, because that way, if you need to get in touch, let's go into start one here, and you can put your email, and I will be in touch with you. And what I'll do is I'll send you a link to this or the one that's filled out. It's got my pictures and stuff on it.
That's some pictures there.
Yes.
Yeah. So like safety as far as like locations.
Yes.
Even in the United States, there's places you don't want to go.
Exactly.
So how do you find that information out? Like what are locations?
You know how they have a lot of the websites that have the most dangerous places in the U.S. and whatever.
Yeah.
Everywhere, I'm telling you, I've been to like Milan or some places, and I couldn't remember if I was in New York or Milan. I mean, there are a lot alike. There are places that you don't go. You know what I mean? And you can usually find out. Stick with the tourist places. To be honest, unless you are with somebody that's local and knows, just stick to the major traffic areas. A lot of places you'll have, of course, police. You are in Paris, you'll see police all over, especially with machine guns. That's one of the weirdest things ever. And then wherever you go, you'll always be able to find something like American. My kids were famous for always wanting to go to McDonald's. In Paris, wherever we were. I'm gonna pass this around, and you guys can go ahead and fill that out. I'm gonna run down to my car if anybody wants to stay for a little while.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that. If you guys want to come look at my souvenirs, you can. I'm gonna run down and because it has she gave me stuff to give you. So
Just put our emails.
yeah, put your name, your emails. If you want me to contact you, you can put your phone number. You don't have to. But if you put your email, that's telling me that maybe you want some more information. Then we will contact you.
Where's your
Yes.
next trip?
My next trip is in April. My friend is coming. My friend is coming from Munich. It's her birthday. We're going to Coachella. So Coachella is a music festival and it's in Indio, California.
Yeah.
Then after that, I'm going to Nashville, and after that, I'm going to Bonnaroo. And I'm not doing a lot this year. I'm really trying.
You're on a music tour.
Yeah, I love music. I love live music.
I know, right?
And then I'm going in October to Portland, Oregon for the marathon. I'm only doing one marathon this year. I've never been.
It's beautiful.
I've never been.
Yeah, that's do you want us to email you with more questions?
If you want to, yes. I'm gonna find a way to put it up here. See if I can find my. It's just, I'm sorry. This, if I could have connected this, it had a slide with all my contact information.
So is your daughter still overseas? Yeah, she's going to school. It's kind of a rough story.
All right. Would you like this if I just give you my email address? And then,
That would be good.
and anybody can contact me, ask me any question, anytime. I am not that kind of person that I like people, so I don't.
Oh, and we were kind of late, we didn't get your name.
It's Lorna. My name is Lorna. So okay, I'm gonna say this. You can write it down. I'm gonna explain it. Maybe it'll help. It's Lorna. I used to live in San Antonio, so it's Lorna SA, and I have it at gmail.com or I have it at AOL.com. So it's like LORNA, like Lorna Doone, the shortbread cookies. You ever had those?
Yeah.
So good.
Oh, yeah, I'm just so sweet, yes. So it's lornasa@gmail.com. I also have a phone number. You can text me. It is 210. Okay, you got email. This is my phone number. It's 210-867-4054. All right. So you guys want to stay here for a minute when I run down to the car? Okay.
Oh, really? For how long?
There was flyers and stuff about HRE and she said I thought about it, and so we're going to Miami, we'll be in Miami on my birthday, and I'll be in the Amazon in Ecuador on his birthday.
Yeah, so we're going to California.
Oh, well, that helps. Are you just having one small
See, that's what I'm wondering.
I'm looking into getting backpack.
Yeah.
There's other trips that I'm looking into, so I think I'm just gonna try to take that.
Yeah.
Get used to it.
I have a 22-inch Osprey that it lasts me 3 weeks when I go. So
I was checking out trying to backpack
put a lot.
on
Yeah, I would go down to, that's where I got
Yeah.
my cover job.
Yeah.
It's really, they know a lot down there. So.
I've gone them probably about 4 or 5 times, so I tried
Good.
that, and we're still just,
It's just
I don't know, this is not.
so.
Yeah, it's got to feel right.
Do you plan to go anywhere?
No, I'm thinking New Zealand, but I've never been there. So the first Monday of March.
Yeah, it's really
Oh my So Monday night, I don't know if they're on here. But the first Monday would be. I think it's well, I'll check. It's the Austin. It's the Austin International. Yeah, I've never actually been.
Should I buy it?
That's usually what it is.
Well, so I want
They're just kind
Oh,
of.
yeah.
Presenter as possible because the acoustics in there is
Oh.
really echoes.
So get there early.
So just sit right in front of the person at the table.
Thanks.
It's gonna be able to take away from
Yep,
that.
so 7 o'clock, travel, talk, dinner, ambulance.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really did. He's really good about it. Just kind of sleep with your backpack. Money,
Why did you go back? Go back
check your water.
I want to know I've heard Indian culture talks, like,
Okay, so I have stuff coming after that on the way out of the restaurant. I did not have a sign-in sheet, but they do have.
There's too many people. Like walking across the street, I don't wanna, there's too many people there. It's gonna be really overwhelming.
So it's inspired, and it's got like a little flyer for people that want to know more about HI or
So
stuff
hope
in
it's to
general.
connect the data.
So any other questions, comments? I've been teaching. Yes. Huh? Yeah. Yes. Let me email it to you.
Okay.
I have a blog, a Tumblr blog,
Okay.
and it says Tourist Marathoner. I think .tumblr.com,
Okay.
and it's got like pictures and stuff. And I'm gonna start to be better. You guys can encourage me, like, hey, put stuff on the blog. Actually, this is what I really want to do. I want to start to take people with me to go run marathons and train you for free and stuff. Because I've done it so many times. So I think I'm gonna call myself a tourist marathoner. So that's fun.
Someplace
Can I make a recommendation? My friend that used to do that.
Hold on,
We could have.
It's like when I went with Rose Garden.
Oh, yeah.
And then the half marathon is a lot different than a full.
It identifies you.
Big Sur full is known to be very, very.
Is this in the class?
I will not do it.
Did this already go this way?
Did
you guys
get in Monterey?
And
Did you get these?
Hands down.
Who's Chelsea Gates?
I can do that, it helps with the stuff at hospital.
Who wants to run a marathon? I've never run one. Who wants to do it? We're gonna go. We're doing it for free. I'm training everyone. So seriously, contact me. I love to recruit people. I've taken a group to Paris and to DC. Yeah, let's do it. All right. So anyway, since you didn't come up and look at my things, and so have you guys heard of Hamilton?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's the best Broadway show ever. So I went to do that in New York.
Sure.
Yeah, that's my second year.
You were saying something
Yeah.
about this one?
This is just like what I'm going to talk about different souvenirs. This is a practical one. This is from the race. So they give you all your goodies and stuff.
Like a back.
So I just use it for my gym bag and my stuff like that. And this is like little keychains and stuff like that. And so this reminds me. This is like your race thing.
Oh, Chelsea is the one that she's
And like, these are still exactly for your birthday.
Wait, you gonna go to that class on Monday?
London.
Yeah, I think I
I like
would.
in America. That's perfect. I said a bit.
This is quite.
Oh, New York.
Yes. So in New Zealand, what I found, that they had,
These are think about it.
Yeah, so I'm willing to do it also probably with the accommodation. But they have it where you can just use the bus to get around. And basically you hop on and
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yes, you will find people
their
that
stuff
are there.
is just.
Especially, I recommend you not get private. Get a room with more people.
I was hoping to do a little hiking too there, but I'll have to.
Let's go
You know,
eat
I don't.
pizza. And there's
Straight travel.
Oh, okay. Great. And this is, you know,
And each one
Great.
have different starting points and different points.
Oh, yeah.
On how far the country
and did you book it again?
Oh, wow.
I think
So you won't know, because then you know where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I did read some, but.